Hi everyone, welcome to this video. This is part 2 of how to start a K-pop related channel. This video I will be answering all of your questions on Instagram, or as many as I can, because I did get a lot of questions on Instagram, so I will have to kind of cut them down a bit. If you have not yet watched part 1 is where I discuss copyright and monetization mainly throughout majority of the video, so please go over to that video if you have not watched that yet. Which editing software do you use and editing tips? I have always edited on Final Cut Pro. All the special effects that you see that are overlaid on top of the video, I use After Effects. Editing tips I would have is don't go overboard with any special effects if you're making a cover, for example. Try your best to cut out any unnecessary parts of a video. I think this person means how long do I spend for editing. Uploading a cover, it usually takes me about an hour to edit that cover. If I'm uploading a tutorial, I can edit the whole thing straight for about 5 hours. If I do procrastinate, it takes me about 8 hours. Using an iPhone, what are some good apps to use for editing? I have no laptop or computer. If you have an iPhone, most iPhones have iMovie built into the phone already. If you don't have iMovie, I'm not too familiar with a lot of apps. I've never edited YouTube videos on my phone, I don't think, or maybe I did when I was really young, when I used to have previous YouTube channels. If I did use a device to do that, it would have been with iMovie. If you really want to do this and you really want to get into YouTube, I would suggest, if you can, investing into a laptop. You are going to need a place to store all of your files. What is most important to make high quality videos? Which light or camera is okay? There are a lot of people that actually use their iPhones to record YouTube videos and start a YouTube channel because cameras can be expensive. I started recording on and I still do actually use the exact same camera, a Sony Handycam, and I'm going to put the actual model name because I always forget what it is. I use that camera to record all of my tutorials, and it was a very cheap camera. This camera that I'm using right now is the Canon G7X. I've only had this for a year. This has been my dream camera, and I obviously got this when I knew that my YouTube channel was working. You don't have to use very high quality cameras, and you don't have to use high quality lights either. I'm actually using a lamp right now. I'm going to take a photo of my setup. If you can film during the day, that is the best time, and do it where the window is behind the camera and you're looking at the window, so the light is shining on you to get the best lighting. I usually have 2 studio lights, photography studio lights, that I use, and again I bought those when my channel was already successful. So all these expensive things have been investments that I've made. What you should do is just start out with what you've got, or start out with something cheap but good quality still, because there are things out there that are still good quality even though they're cheap. Advice to film covers when you don't have much space or a good setup. I have talked about space so much across my channel before. I film obviously in the studio. This depends on what you're doing. So if you're doing a dance channel and you have absolutely no space in your house, it's just not working out, you have no choice but to look elsewhere outside of your house. And this means researching and getting online and finding places to dance. Another thing that I did, because I didn't have any space in my house, is that I literally had to create space. Talk to the other members of your household if it would be okay with them, if sometimes you could move stuff out the way to basically create space. So I got questions on time management. How do you balance your time, and how do you manage your schedule? For me and my life personally, the only things that I have to balance is my YouTube. I have to balance my Etsy work because I have a shop on Etsy.com. I have to balance when I go to the gym, or when I could go to the gym because we're in lockdown right now. And that was the only 3 things I had to balance. But when I was in school, it was difficult. The first thing that you need to do is you need to figure out, so without YouTube in the picture, what are your actual obligations? Where do you need to be, you have to be? What do you have to do in your life? So they could be school, you could have a job, you could have to look after someone, you might want to make time to see your friends on certain days of the week. Any obligations you have, do that and write it down and see how much free time you have. Then what you do next is you write out a list of things that you normally do in your free time and what actually takes up most of your time. Be honest with yourself. Do you spend 2 hours scrolling through Instagram? Do you spend 2 hours on Netflix, whatever it is, even if you're on a FaceTime call with someone for 3 hours like every day, figure out what it is that you actually do that you don't really need to do that's taking up most of your time. Then you need to start making sacrifices. If you are wasting all this time going on your phone on Instagram, if there's a Netflix show that can wait and you have been binging it and you've been wasting your time on it, cut it out, okay? I'm not even kidding, this is what I had to do. I would use my time after school to learn the dance, but my mistake, and what I don't advise to you guys, is don't prioritize YouTube over your homework. Do your homework first, okay? Because I would edit and edit and edit for so long and dance for so long, from 4 p.m. until 9 p.m. By the time 9 p.m. comes, I have to eat. By 9:30, I haven't done my homework yet, so I'm up from 9:30 until 11 or 12 doing my homework. Prioritize your schoolwork first. Put the obligations first. Then use the rest of your free time to do this, YouTube. And also, when you're actually doing the work, when you're actually doing your YouTube, don't procrastinate, because if you're a student, you don't have a lot of time. If you want to get enough sleep and get to bed on time and do everything else, don't procrastinate. How to make our content interesting to attract viewers. And a similar question that I got is from someone who said, I've been working on my YouTube channel for 3 years and I don't know how to get more people. I don't know how to promote myself. The one thing that I did talk about briefly, because I already talked about it before, was to make content on what is trending right now. So if you want to hear more about that, please go over to the part 1. One thing that you've got to do is you've got to ask yourself, what attracts you to other people's content? The location of where they're filming and their aesthetic and their thumbnails. Thumbnails are really important because thumbnails are the first impression of your video before someone clicks on it. So if you're doing a dance cover, you want to have a thumbnail where you're like posing the signature pose of that dance. If you're doing a reaction video, like, you want to pick the frame where you had a really good expression on your face, or a very like shocked or surprised expression, and make that the thumbnail. Not too much text on the screen. If you are going to have text, then try and make it like big and bold. I make my thumbnails on the app called Fonto. In terms of promoting yourself, I didn't really do anything to promote myself. I just uploaded and wished for luck and just kept persevering and kept trying. I didn't really do anything to promote myself. If you really do want to promote yourself, one way you can do that is by also starting an Instagram page for dance covers and being consistent on there too. I am the worst with my Instagram page. I used to be a lot more consistent. Posting dance covers on there using the hashtag K-pop dance cover can really get you noticed as well. How did you overcome shyness while filming your covers, and how to be confident while dancing? So mainly just about confidence. I actually don't know what like kind of sparked in me to just be a bit more confident. So when I first started in the studio that I filmed at, the reason why I wouldn't put my all into the cover, to be very honest, was because I didn't want someone to see me through the window. That was the main reason. Eventually I kind of started to just block out people that looked in the window, looking at comments, people telling me that I was a good dancer, and people kind of boosting my confidence and hyping me up in my comments. It gave me confidence. In terms of shyness altogether, you're more than likely to be very shy in the beginning, but trust me, it will wear off and it will get better and you will become more confident naturally. It's really hard for me to give tips because I can't even pinpoint what made me more confident, but mainly it was just when I started to block out what people think. I know that everyone says this and it's cheesy and corny or whatever, like, I know it's easier said than done, but you literally have to dance like no one is watching. How did it feel when you posted your first video, and any tips for beginners? I was a little bit nervous. Just go for it, because if you never try, then you will never know where your channel could have gotten you. Sometimes I just think, like, imagine if I didn't post that first cover and I just assumed my channel is going to fail. What's the point? I wouldn't have ever guessed that my channel would grow to 200,000 plus subscribers. Be consistent. If nobody is watching, it doesn't matter. There's going to be one video eventually that is going to blow up your channel. How did you start doing your channel? Like, was it hard, or did you get hate when you started? Everyone is going to get hate, no matter what channel you are. You could post videos about your dog and you would still get hate. There's hate and trolls everywhere. I didn't get hate when I first started. The more popular your channel becomes and the more your subscribers grow, the more your views grow, the more vulnerable your channel is. The types of hate I get is one of two. So there will be hate where the person is attacking the way I teach, and that is completely like, it's not my fault that my teaching method does not help you, just go to someone else. Do you know what I mean? So that's the first side. The second side, if you're making K-pop videos and you aren't Korean or you aren't Asian, sometimes you may get a racist side to it as well. You know, I've had people call me like Korea boos, like you're an Indian Korea boo and stuff. I'm not even Indian, but I don't know how that's an insult. You're black, why are you dancing to K-pop kind of things. I've had like 1 or 2 cases of someone saying you're not skinny enough. Someone said like you have a big bum, get up, like stop dancing to K-pop or something. Or yeah, like literally just stupid. Literally these comments just make me laugh because they don't offend me at all. So they're actually hilarious. But yeah, you're gonna get weird people like that. Like, this is what I'm saying, I only get one of those weird comments like once every couple of months. So if you're getting a majority positive response to your channel, then there's nothing to worry about. How do you stay motivated while making content? And how to stick with it even though it gets difficult. You've really got to have a passion for it, because if you don't, then it's going to be very, very difficult. If I didn't like helping people and I didn't like teaching, then this would be a very difficult thing to do. Because I like to teach others, then it's quite easy for me to stay motivated. You will find yourself less motivated if you have other motives in mind or other intentions in mind. If you are completely just motivated just to get views and that's it, you'll find yourself less motivated when it doesn't work. If you're motivated just to make money and that's it, you'll find yourself demotivated when you don't make money. It all starts with the passion for doing it. One thing that motivates me is by looking at you, your positive messages towards me. So those were all the questions regarding like starting a channel, and now I'm just going to move on to some other questions just to end the video. What's your favorite types of songs to make tutorials for? I love making tutorials for Twice songs and ITZY songs, mainly because I like those groups. What do you think is better, a K-pop channel where you are alone or with a group? In my opinion, I feel like it doesn't really matter because they're both very saturated categories. Do you think it would be possible to start an anonymous dance channel? Definitely think it is possible, because I've actually seen someone have an anonymous dance page before. There was this one girl that I used to follow, I'm not going to say her name just in case, but she used to just dance in a face mask. She doesn't anymore. Yeah, I feel like you could still be successful if you're anonymous, and that could even be your niche that makes you stand out, the fact that no one knows what you look like or who you are. Is it bad to just make videos about drama and stuff in the K-pop industry? No, I don't think that's bad at all. The only time I would say that it is bad is if you as a creator are spreading false rumors or creating hate towards idols. That is where I think it's wrong. What does your family think of your YouTube channel? My family have always been supportive of my YouTube channel. They still are. Never discouraged me, anything like that. Everyone is very supportive of it, and I'm very pleased about that. And the last question is, what's the hardest and the easiest thing about doing YouTube? Because I didn't go to university, I work for myself. Sometimes the hardest thing is to be disciplined. I literally kill my body sometimes. Like, I really make my body ache when I'm learning dances, so it takes really long to make one tutorial. I have to learn it, plus film it, plus edit it, then plus wait for the video to save as well, to export. So altogether that's a really, really, really long time. The easiest thing about doing YouTube is probably the support that I get, like how I know that when I post a tutorial, I know that even if one person learnt it, like that is enough for me. And the easiest thing is like how I see so many nice comments from people when I upload a tutorial and they say that I've learned 3 dances from you, I've learned 1 dance from you, I'm going to learn this tomorrow, I'm going to learn this right now, I've been waiting for this. Like, those types of comments makes it so easy for me to make content, because I know that I did my job. Knowing that I was able to help people is the best part and the easiest part. So yeah, I hope this series, this like mini 2-part series, was able to help you guys if you're interested in making a K-pop related channel. Sorry if this was very dance orientated. Of course, I'm a dance channel, so thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy during this time of quarantine. Depending on when you're watching this, you could be watching this when this is all over. Whatever time of year it is, I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy and happy, and I will see you guys in a new video next time.